And even though we ain't got money, I'm so in love with you, honey. Hey, y'all, come on in. You're here on a great day.
We have Kaizen today from Ariana and Evans.
It's a beautiful morning with the Barbershop Duet.
Hi, I'm Marcus Klinger with Klinger Vocal Studio.
And I'm Sarah Vincent with Sarah Vincent Virtual Pilates.
And on Wednesdays and Saturdays.
We are the Barbershop Duet.
Hey, y'all, come on in. Thank you for finding our little barbershop. If you happen to be here during one of the live premieres on YouTube, why? Come on in the live chat. Meet the Whiff Pack. Cool group of friends hanging out from all over the world. They'd love to meet you, too.
They would. And for our mention today, we would like to talk about the new singles that they have over at Ariana and Evans.
Single Note Scents, available in EDPs and a few other forms. This is the tobacco one, a gift to the channel from Barry Bedford and Texan Shaves, who picked it up at the meetup and from the sales page. For singles, tobacco. I began at the source. I created a tincture of Burley and Virginia tobacco, extracting their natural character. The dry, slightly nutty depth of Burley paired with the subtle sweetness and hay-like warmth of Virginia leaf. This tincture forms the living backbone of the accord. From there, the structure was carefully built using tobacco absolute and a selection of supporting materials chosen to shape, deepen, and refine the experience. These include tobacco roll, dihydrogamma-ione, choya lobin, honey, labdanum, calaphis, cedar, timber silk, and coumarin. And my apologies for pronouncing some of those completely wrong. Each contributing dimension and texture. The result is not a sharp cigarette note nor an overly sweet pipe fantasy, but something far more authentic. The aroma of cured tobacco leaf, warm in the hand, slightly sweet, faintly smoky, richly textured, and deeply comforting. And y'all, for me, this is that delightful tobacco inside of Tobacco Road from Ariana and Evans, just given more nuance, more depth, and more room to live and breathe. How are you getting this?
You know, when I wore this, I got a different powdery kind of side. It doesn't go ashy like it's talking about.
Right,
It does have like a clean side to this, and it's not too dark. It really has more of an amber vibe, baby.
And what I love about this is when your nose takes it in, it goes absolutely, definitively tobacco, but not in a way that I have ever experienced it before. And as he mentions, not stripped away, but added to in gentle ways with things that just support the particular face of tobacco that Peter is trying to bring out. And it's done magically in this accord.
It's quite an
Fabulous,
experience.
my friend. And there are two more that we have heard about, an oud accord and an amplifier one. Stay tuned. And what is our soap today?
An icon from the Ariana and Evans lineup. Let's meet him.
And y'all, before we meet the soap, let's meet the artisan himself. Please welcome into the barbershop Peter Chikalis of Ariana and Evans.
Hey everyone, Peter with Ariana and Evans. Marcus and Sarah were nice enough to ask me to have a few words in regards to Kaizen. Many, many years ago, I worked for Xerox Corporation, like 30 years ago. Xerox was the first company to lose market share to the Japanese and actually win it back because they changed the whole culture within the company called Six Sigma. Within Six Sigma was this philosophy of Kaizen, which is to constantly improve. It was ingrained in us each and every day. I can go on and on and on, but I'll just tell you it saved that company, and in so many ways, Kaizen saved us. So now fast forward to 2019, I guess. During the height of COVID, May of 2019, I believe, I lost my job. I was working for a British software development company. I was still doing this part-time. We were building a name for ourselves. But we're small potatoes. You know, these companies that are doing this, artisans, are just, they're not making money hand over fist. If they're lucky to make a car payment, you have no idea. So we had no choice. Who's going to hire me at 57? I'll be 63 in a few months. Nobody's hiring. Companies are closing down. I had no choice. I had no options. I had no money. I would spend money like a drunk sailor on payday. We had nothing. So we had to make this work. It just so happens that I was working on a new base. And the first time I ever named a base, and it was called Kaizen. Our initial base, and then I knew I wanted to improve it. I introduced a bridge Kaizen, and then we introduced Kaizen. So that bridge was in January, Kaizen was in May. Kaizen just blew up for us. It blew up. And it literally and figuratively saved us. I don't know how we would have survived. I don't know. So now, we've grown quite a bit since then, thanks to you. And hopefully that will continue. Kaizen means a lot to us. It saved this business for sure. And I just don't know what we would have done without it. Kaizen lives. It's still a top seller for us. It's a beautiful, beautiful scent. And it's going to continue on, but in a different base. So Kaizen went to K2E, and then we introduced Ultima. We're going to be combining K2E and Ultima into Ultima 2. The reason for that is simplicity. I want to make things easier for us as a company, for my wife and daughter, for our customers, we have too many bases, and for our retailers. So it just makes sense to simplify things. Also, I'm getting older. I don't know how long. I haven't been healthy, so I don't know how long I'll be around. And I just want to make things easier for everyone. So Ultima 2 will be coming down the pike very, very, very soon. And the new glass jars, all custom. So anyway, that's the story. So stay tuned for that, and enjoy the show with Marcus and Sarah. All right, take care, everyone.
Thank you, buddy, and we're looking forward to our live interview with you on Instagram coming up soon, and from the sales page at aegrooming.com.
Kaizen is our playful, bold, seductive, vibrant, and captivating soap. It's a fusion of mandarin, tangy tangerine, and zesty lemon with a dash of bergamot and apple for a fresh and green base. A touch of neroli adds extra charm, but don't worry, it won't overpower your senses. The middle notes are a delightful mix of floral and citrus, while cedar and other woods bring depth to the fragrance. Honeysuckle and rose add a subtle sweetness in the background, never stealing the spotlight.
I would have been happy with just the top notes, and there's base notes too.
The final stage is a surprisingly spicy and woody blend, almost like a whole new scent altogether. A truly unique evolution in a soap. Exquisite, invigorating, and a little bit quirky.
And y'all, the concept of Kaizen is basically the enemy of complacency. It's about always getting better, always seeking ways to improve. And if that doesn't describe Ariana and Evans, I don't know what does. Let's take this one out of the box. All right, y'all. Now, Ariana and Evans is in a time of great transition. Brand new jars, brand new soaps, brand new bases, brand new things all over the place. But if it smells anything like some of the brethren have described, we're hoping it does.
Yes.
And look at this label, y'all. Is that not beautiful? And y'all, check out our Instagram channel, because our upcoming interview with Peter Chikalis is going to show off the new line and the new jars and all those things. But we are excited to jump into a classic here. And in one of the last plastic tubs you're going to see from A&E. Here we go, y'all. Time for a first impression. I've played enough Zelda to know I would really like to ride a dragon across this landscape. All right, here we go, taking it in. I think this is a newer label. I think it had a different red and white one a little while ago, but I like this one better. All right, here we go, taking it in. What is that? Oh, yo, hold on a second. There's a brand new personality coming out of this that I have never experienced before. Hold on a second.
It did say it might be a little kind of transitional going on in there.
I mean, it's citrus, but it's bubblegum at the same time, and that's just the top layer. Hold on.
Yeah, there's 3 big layers to this one.
A startlingly white clean of a freshly plastered room under the bubblegum, and then it keeps going. Hold on. And then where you land, is it floral? Is it citrus? Is it resinous? Yes, and it goes wide as all get out, but it doesn't go deep. There's nothing patchouli-ish or olibanum-ish at the bottom of this. It ends jovial and clean and friendly and whimsical. Wow, hold on. I'm getting the effervescent tang of an Italian ice and the sweet part of an ancient red leather without any of the earthiness in this. This is absolutely wild and very cohesive. And that's the amazing thing. It's like looking at a cast picture of the Warner Brothers cartoon characters, and yet they all come together with a unified fingerprint. Y'all. Now I get it. Hold on. And see, here's where citrus generally fails me if it's gonna, in leaving me in tart territory without giving me enough sweetness to balance that out. And I'm left with a tiny bit of like sour going on that doesn't always gel with the other notes in the ways that I would want them to. But there is something about the citrus in here, y'all, that, as I said, becomes a bubble gum as it leaves you. So there's nothing tart or sour in the middle. All you get is that spark of citrus. And then startlingly white, peppery, effervescent plaster, as if it had been candied. Something about the whiteness of it is in this. Like offering a slight rocky or sandy note in the middle, just so it doesn't have to take your nose all the way to the ends of those sweets and leave them there. And I'm not gonna say there's not a little gourmandy in the middle of this, but I was not hungry 5 minutes ago.
I almost asked because of what you were saying, but I'm glad you clarified.
Almost the sweetness of fresh bread as it first hits the oven. You know what I mean? Not the yeastiness, but just the sweetness of that dough getting toasted for the first time. That. And you know what's cool? The scent is cold, but not in a winter way. In a summer way of when it's 104 out there and I put this on, it will balance me out. I don't really sense a floral, but if I did, it would be something soft and delicate between a peony and a rose kind of thing. And in the background, there's so much going on in this. And Peter, you know exactly why my nose gave me Warner Brothers cartoons. This is a fun scent.
Sounds like.
I'm telling you. Well, and I think it's because only my nose would recognize the bubble gum, because I am clearly a child in a 50-year-old body. But I think why this is magic is the average nose wouldn't. It would just take you back to something fanciful and fun and innocent and remind you of opening those packs of baseball cards or Bazooka Joe bubblegum to get the comic and the points to save up for the leather jacket. This is my new favorite citrus.
Wow.
Like this,
okay,
I know, look at my face. This is what I always want citrus to be, so round and congenial and friendly. And it's funny, it's not the citrus that's the gourmand. The citrus is the sweet sunlight. There's something inside of the plastery part that make my mouth water.
This sounds like an adventure.
Y'all. Well, and here's why you're gonna love it. You know, your nose can find those subtle green notes that are often the glue between the notes that my nose is finding. This has got that in spades, and it's not sour like a rose stem.
Okay.
But it's not floral either. It's almost like a clover meets an ivy kind of thing. Candied lime, candied orange, but just enough lemon, real lemon, to let you know that those fruits are still real and came from plants on this earth. Take this in. I am excited to see how it's going to wash over you.
I feel like I'm going to need quite a whiff here. Oi, oi, oi. Okay.
She turned the tub.
I did.
Always a good sign.
There are fun layers to this. I don't know if my brain would have picked like a top, a middle, a bottom.
No.
I'm just enjoying how they're moving in between all the scent notes that are in here. Like, that's why I even spun the tub, because I was like, wait, there's a whole other side to this scent. I think the only scent note I really remember reading was the mandarin.
Right.
And there's something about, like, even from Trader Joe's, they have a dried mandarin. And there's something about, out of the peel, the mandarin itself has a gentle sweetness to it that kind of rounds out some of the citrus that you were talking about.
Right.
Where normally I feel like grapefruit is thrown in there or something to add that kind of like different citrus side than you're expecting. Bergamot's used a lot, but there's something about having a different type of citrus in here that really helps you jump in with a different perspective already.
It's the childhood citrus. It's the Flintstone vitamin citrus. It's a fun citrus.
Okay, so when you were mentioning plaster earlier, like a super clean white kind of thing, I had no idea what you're getting at, but I kind of get it here. It's not a talc, but it's like the inside out of what that is, because it doesn't quite go masculine or barbershop, but there's parts of it that are super clean and white and vibrant, but it never strays away from the mandarin or like a spicy kind of thing, like more peppery, maybe. But there's something real and tangible about this place. At the beginning, it starts off like, this could be my imagination. Right. Then that middle part is like, no, I think this is a real place that you can go to. And now let me keep going to the next part.
I'm glad you reminded me it was mandarin. That's why the citrus is so magical.
Right where it wants to go gourmandy for me, it goes almost sour candy.
Oh.
But then it has a cap on it. It doesn't go super sweet. Like, my mouth doesn't water. It's not completely gourmand. And I think there's a secret floral or something in here that then jettisons it into that lane. So it doesn't ever stay in any of these portions of the whiff very long.
If powder could be made of citrus, here you go.
I do feel like the fact that they put quirky at the end of the sales page is exactly the word that you need. Like, there's just something a little off kilter in the best, like a fun house kind of mirror way. Like, you think you know it, and then it jumps into that whole other extra side that you're like, wait, this room is spinning. There are 2 different ways in this room. And I think that kind of woody kind of portion that they were mentioning at the end as like, but then it's like a whole separate scent. We're getting that. But that middle tier makes me feel like I'm in multiple locations at the same time.
Quirky is a requirement to be a friend of ours.
Yo, like the first part of my whiff, I feel like I'm the little kids at Sandlot and they're running to the pool for the first time.
Wait.
Like, there's something about excitement of summer or like just that getting ready kind of feel.
And this is one of those moments she's a bad influence on me because now I just smell the Sandlot. Now I get their bubble gum. Now I get a little bit of their sunscreen. Like, yo. All right, y'all, well, come along with us. This might be one of the very last K2E bases we ever make on this show, and you've got to see it. All right, y'all, back to the sales page at aegrooming.com or shavingshopclub.com. We start with set notes of...
There's a lot of citruses. Strap in. Mandarin, Calabrian bergamot, lemon peel, and neroli.
And let's work backwards. The neroli being the orange blossom meets with the mandarin at the beginning and is what creates that gorgeous sense of a candied citrus for me. Mm-hmm. And I think it helps keep the Calabrian bergamot from getting too astringent.
Yeah.
It keeps it friendly. And then the lemon peel, brilliant. He didn't say lemon because you're not getting the sour. You're not getting the muddled part of the inside. You're just getting a little bit of that crisp burst of when the essential oil comes out of the peel under your fingernail. That.
So we do have neroli and honeysuckle, and I'm looking a little further, and there is a rose in here. So there are multiple florals in here hanging out, but they're almost imperceptible.
They're just powdered sugar.
Yeah.
Over the top of the entire thing in a perfect way. Well, because the neroli is what's having the effect on the citrus, and the rose is having an effect on the apple, which we're going to read in a minute, which makes sense because apple is in the rose family. This is what I mean by each layer segues down into the next.
I think you can tell it's a green apple, because when you said apple earlier, I wasn't sure, but the green somehow is really helping.
If you know that fabulous sweet Macintosh apple from inside a Red Hollow from Hoffman's, this is the opposite. This is a little bit of that sharp green apple peel from a Granny Smith. Mm-hmm. Brilliant, because the other sweets are what sweeten it up, the rose.
All right, then we have Tobacco Absolute, Haitian Vetiver, Sandalwood, Cedarwood. This is like the whole second half of the whiff happening.
Hold on, do you get tobacco in this? I don't think it goes that deep at all for me.
It just adds the spice part. I almost think that could be the first half of the bubblegumminess, like almost something in that spice.
Well, we did just smell this tobacco,
True.
so maybe we're a little bit nose blind to it. Now, here come the section of lies. Haitian vetiver? How are you getting Haitian vetiver in this?
Honestly, if I had a multiple choice, I don't know if I'd pick that one.
Right. Sandalwood, yeah, beautiful, creamy, spicy. Cedarwood, 100%, giving a little bit of a peppery effervescence.
Right.
But vetiver, especially Haitian vetiver, I think he's using it the way a perfumer uses it to give it a sense of grassiness without having to be a vetiver quality.
There is something of fresh air, outdoorsy vibe, so maybe that's connecting with like the green apple or the mandarin, and they're just kind of taming it down.
Well, and you know what? You can do fresh air with vetiver the same way you can with ozone. It's just in a very different direction. So, yeah.
But I have a feeling this might all change once we build a lather, because there is a lot happening in here.
I'm procrastinating because this might be our last K2E lather on the show because he's transitioning everything to the Ultimate 2. Y'all, this is our Brousseau and Dove shaving bowl, a gift from David, the artisan himself. Is it not extraordinary. Check out our Dark Irish Countryside episode for a deeper dive. All right, a little push back to this soap, and I'm going to put about an almond size amongst the little grooves and ridges of this bowl. And the cool thing about this bowl, you kind of want to push down so that the soap is thin enough to where the pattern of the grooves shines through. So looking just like that, we're going to hit this with a little bougie water. And y'all, for the occasion of my 50th birthday, Craig at Opus Brush created this absolute masterpiece to remind me of the summer of my 10th year when my mom gave me permission to change my room around to Coca-Cola, and we drove all over Hell and Gone looking for posters and bedspreads and sheets and buntings and everything to make my room look just like a soda fountain did in 1915. It was awesome. About every 30 seconds, spin the brush, give the bristles a new orientation to attack the soap with, and just about the time it's all gone into the bristles of the brush, I'm going to grab the rest of the water, start making my lather. Now, in having lunch with David, who made this bowl, he's a potter, he explained that part of its glory is the architecture in the way the walls of the bowl meet the bottom. It's not a 90-degree angle. In fact, there's a little channel right there that really allows the bristles of your brush to get in there. I didn't even really notice what a thing that was until I started noticing it with my other shaving bowls, that I'm sort of digging lather out of the corners. Sometimes not with this bad boy.
Well, some knots are more of a bulb and some of them more of the knot kind of vibe. So I think they get into the edges a little different.
And just the sound.
It is different to have that versus a resin or metal. Yeah.
I'll tell you, if the Ultima 2 wasn't so amazing, the brethren would be holding funerals for K2E. This is an absolute extraordinary formula. In fact, I believe K2E stands for Kaizen. I think it was called that. Oh, and if you are fans of the Big Top from Ariana and Evans, do us a favor, would you? We're going to have an episode coming up where we're going to try to save the Big Top so that it gets a transition into Ultima 2 and the brand new A&E lineup. Send us a video, maybe 20 or 30 seconds, about why you love the Big Top, and we'll include it in that episode. I reserve the right to edit them down.
I'm getting wonderful whiffs from over here. My goodness.
Gorgeous. And y'all, I know we never talk about lather here on the Barbershop Duet, but look at what this bowl can do with a K2E base. And it's in the Goldilocks zone. I think my Ollyworks bowl is a little too small. I think my KUN head shaving one is like throwing a pie. This is perfect. All right, y'all, this is something you'll only find here on the Barbershop Duet. This is the Is You Is or Is You Ain't My Baby with on 3, 1, 2. Oh, you is. You is my baby. Oh, smell that. Oh, interesting. This is more candied.
Yeah.
This is more sugary. This is more natural. I'm getting more of the flowers.
More of the real place for me. Like, I'm outdoors, wherever this is, and I don't want to go inside.
And a shout out to Larry Shaves and Sammy, who are most likely in our live premiere today. Hey, buddy, we love watching them do their shaving on their channel, but we don't do shaving here in the Barbershop Duet. But we still thought you might like to see what this lather looks like when it coats and covers. Y'all? Y'all.
I love knowing that this is like your new favorite citrus, because I totally can see why. It's all the best parts that citrus can even offer.
Without the pulp. And y'all, before we get too giddy, there is a splash here we need to consider. Let's take this down a little bit deeper. And this is the last of the small A&E splash bottles. I keep the new A&E splash bottles on my nightstand in case we ever have to use them for home defense. They're massive.
All right, are you going to try and get the tape off this time? This is
will,
fabulous.
Since this is the last one.
Okay, Marcus is going to go for it.
You. All right, here we go, folks.
Start the timer.
Hey, all right, let's see.
Makes you feel like you earned it.
It does. Now I can sleep easy. A little something here.
Yeah, some lovely little skin foodie fun.
Here, you might get a little more.
Maybe just a little. I won't complain.
Okay, there we go. All right.
I'm smelling already.
Shave arcade method. I'm going to go like this and then.
Oh, things are different here.
Oh, I'm getting a little bit of the inside of the mandarin in this now. A little bit of the sour edge of that fabulous citrus. This is still my favorite citrus, I think, of all time.
But then, I gotta say, you wouldn't get the best version of the citrus if you didn't have that next floral tier, and that one after that with the woods and the other kind of vetiver green apple. That's the part I'm getting here.
It gives my nose a landing pad that then acts like a trampoline and rockets it back up to the beginning. The apple is just sitting beautifully in the middle. almost like in front of a trap door that then rockets you down into those woods.
My brain almost feels like there's a melon or a cantaloupe. It's not in here, but like those are the colors that my brain is getting. Like it's literally matching the label colors.
And what's brilliant is usually when you smell oranges with apples, you get kind of a mulled simmer pot sense going on, but somehow these are completely separate in this balance with some cool stuff in between them. I'm even getting some musks and stuff at the bottom of this, some delightful, clean, laundry, galaxolide kind of stuff.
This is a great unisex scent. Like, this is not masculine or feminine at all. It doesn't even need to pick a lane. It's its own lane. Like, I feel like it takes us both on fun journeys. We're clearly enjoying ourselves, and we clearly don't want to go home.
It's a little different on you. I'm getting a little tobacco on you.
Oh, there is the tobacco. I forgot.
Wild. Yeah. A little bit of that leaf from what's in here. One of them is in there, but I only smell it on you. Do you smell it on me?
I almost get just sand under my feet. Like, I don't know how, but it might not be the tobacco side, but there's something like, I literally feel like I'm just standing on something different.
It's not the first time I've been described like that.
There is something as artists ourselves that I think we can appreciate in this. Like, it automatically gets you excited.
Yes.
Which I think is the whole point of trying to not get stagnant in life, in work, in all the things. But in the creative process, that is hard to feel like you get unstuck sometimes. And I do feel like that's caught in a scent. I don't know how, but if you need some inspiration, this is a good one to get a whiff of.
Inspired by the idea of perpetual improvement? Absolutely, because somehow that is captured in the scent. So it's pretty simple, y'all. Just be a brand new soap maker, right out of the box, with a few videos on his YouTube channel, and this dream of a Kaizen base. And this pillar in your soul that always propels you to the next level, to make things better, to find ways to improve them, and all from his love for all of us here in the community, because he remains one of us, and he got his own. So head over to aegrooming.com or shavingshopclub.com to find this and a bunch of other stuff I want. Well, I've had my shave, y'all, with Kaizen, and in the spirit of Kaizen, we will miss this base onwards and upwards to Ultima 2. Hey, welcome to Messages.
So for our April giveaway, we wanted to give you a chance to get $25 to Noble Honor.
Yeah, y'all, all you have to do to be eligible for this giveaway is send us an email here to WeSentYou at thebarbershopduet.com so we can get back to you. It's the only way we communicate about our giveaways, and then check back here on our first May episode to see if you are our lucky winner.
Best of luck. I'm kind of glad Lainey decided to take a nap for this one,
Yeah,
because
me too.
I feel like she would want to take a bite out of this.
Well, for some sense, you just don't want any distractions, and this is one of those.
So the last words that they use on their sales page: exquisite, invigorating, and a little bit quirky. I totally understand those now, and I feel like that's really part of being a creative out in the world, is you have to have a little bit of all of those. You have to be willing to fight for what you know is the exact way you want it to be, the best version you can. You want to inspire others, but you want to have some fun while you're doing it.
And what makes this moment extra exciting is that A&E right now are emerging from a cocoon. Brand new packaging, brand new labels, brand new scents, brand new EDPs, and a brand new partner in Talia, who is finishing her perfuming journey at Pratt in Brooklyn and is about to spread her wings in some absolutely amazing ways in this fragrance world. Stay tuned and strap in. Well, Peter, Talia, and Evelyn, thank you so much for believing in our little show and sending us out these for free to review. We sure appreciate it. And Barry Bedford, a Texan Shaves, thank you for the insane gift of Peter's single note tobacco, soap, and EDP. These are all going to become treasured members of our Shave Den.
They are. Don't forget your next appointment with the Barbershop Duet.
You'll smell better just watching this.